Yo guys, JPR Tech here, and today I would like to introduce a new member of my EOSM family lens lineup. And as you all know, for my former EOSM videos, I've mainly been shooting with the 15mm to 45 kit lens, which is just an awesome kit lens. But also my favorite lens is the 22mm f2 STM lens. Now, even though it doesn't have stabilization, that's one of the biggest cons with this lens, but I just love the image quality and the bokeh out of this lens. But the lens I'm going to be introducing you today, you saw it on the intro. We're going to do a very quick unboxing of this lens because I want to show you, first of all, if you are in the Japan area and you're ever curious about shopping through the camera store, the Camera no Kitamura. It's a local camera shop here in Japan. Amazing place to find good deals, and sometimes you find gems like this one. The lens I purchased actually cost me about $40. So let's open it up and see what we got. Oh man, I forgot I had a cutter. I just used my hands. So barbaric. Well, anyway, let's just see what's inside. All right, so we got documentations, padding. Well, I could use these two when I'm gonna resell something, but it looks like there's an extra box here. I wonder what it is. Wow, I didn't know it came with a lens hood. It's really nice. But on the other hand, why would TTArtisans include a lens hood in a separate box? Oh, now that's new. This is a clip-on lens cap. Nice. I didn't know that was included either. Well guys, so this is it. This is the new lens to our EOSM family. It's a TTArtisan's 35mm f1.4. Man, look at that. Actually, the packaging on this looks really legit. It feels good. It's not a cheap box. But I can't wait to be shooting with this 35mm f1.4. It's gonna be great in low light. And mounted on a gimbal, actually it's gonna be awesome. So looking inside the box, we got more documentations, maybe a warranty card, and here is the lens wrapped up in a nice kind of velvet paper. Well, unfortunately that cloth created some kind of I don't know, dust and cloth all over the lens. All right, I'm gonna have to clean this up really quick, so hang on a second. There we go. Look at that. It's actually much better in person than on the videos. The materials just feel solid. Everything is just pure metal. For less than $100, this is an amazing lens, but I actually personally got it secondhand. So going used, I was able to purchase it for $40, which is a steal for a f1.4 lens. Well, if it performs good. So we're gonna have to see. But you know, it included everything. It came with all the caps, even an extra snap-on, a clip-on cap. So I'm really happy about that. Okay, the temperature seems nice, so I'm not gonna have condensation. Let's open it up and see what we got. Okay, that's an interesting design, very different from any other lens I ever had. But it's an f1.4. We got a nice clean glass. Yeah, definitely this is looking pristine. Now the metal mount is really gonna hopefully secure to the camera nice and tightly. So hopefully this lens will last for a while. Now the markings on the lens, unfortunately, they're not engraved. I thought they were, but they're actually just painted on. FYI, the per gear actually does have engraved markings. But we'll see. Time will tell if it actually lasts. Now the reason I purchased this lens is because it was just too cheap and I couldn't just pass it out. You know, an f1.4 lens, it's gonna be great for low light. And again, like I mentioned, mounted on a gimbal, this is gonna be an awesome setup. So it's very light and hopefully the image quality is good. So we'll see. Build quality seems very nice. What I'm really tempted now is to get that 17mm f1.4. If you guys know about that lens, please let me know, because I am on the border of buying it. enough talking about this lens. Let's just see how it performs. I'm gonna go around the house, I'm gonna go outside and just really quick take some quick shots and see how this lens perform. I'm gonna share my images, all JPEG straight out of the camera, as well as some videos, DNG, of course, everything raw. And I'm gonna use my CST workflow to edit these. Enjoy. Oh wow, that really snapped in there. It just clicked, there's no wiggle. It's really nice. But you know, I forgot the battery. Let me switch over the battery. And yeah, recently I was shooting with 5K FRTP. That's the mode I'm on right now. I'm just gonna leave it there and see how it performs in that mode. So here goes my very first shot using this lens. Some nice bokeh there. Oh wow, that was pretty good. Let's try this plant right here. Wow, look at that bouquet. Oh my goodness, that's creamy. Very creamy. Well guys, what can I say? This is pretty nice to use. The zoom, it just feels really nice. Even though the ring is close to the camera, I can still use it nice and easily. Just hold it really tight with both hands and just move the zoom with one finger. So it's really nice. Let's keep shooting. Let's go around and see what we can capture. What is up guys? Well, yeah, final thoughts, right? I don't know what to tell you. I pretty speechless right now because it's a lot better than I expected. Coming into this lens, I was expecting kind of like a modern vintage prime lens. And what I mean by that is, you know, a vintage prime lens, we all know they're glowy and soft shot wide open. Stopping down, it sharpens up really quickly, and it just has, all vintage lenses have their own unique specific character. And that's something that people just love about vintage lenses, and I personally own a few of them, and I love them. And this lens was actually sharper than my favorite Pentax 50mm f1.4. This TTArtisan 35mm f1.4 wide open, it is sharp at the center. I was blown away. Just as I shown you in the video, You could see a little bit of vignetting there. Yeah, it's vignetting. It's all part of the character. And just may I say, like, now that we're talking about the pros, um, may I just add in that if you're gonna buy an f1.4 lens, an f1.2, or an f0.95 lens, we are not gonna sit here and shoot something flat. There's no way in the world we're gonna buy such a wide aperture lens and just shoot flat things, right? We want dimension, we want depth. So soft corners, vignettings are all welcome here. So that's just my personal opinion. Hit a thumbs up if you agree with that. But anyway, back to the cons. I was just pleasantly surprised with the center sharpness. May I add another point that I really appreciate about this lens is it's one of the things that per gear lenses really suffer from, and that is the focal curvature. And what I mean by that is like you may focus on the center at a subject, but then other areas in the frame, like it would just curved, the focus area just curved. And that's something that this per gear 35 f1.2 suffers from. My older per gear 12mm f2 really suffered badly. It was so bad I actually had to sell it back. I just couldn't deal with it, so I got rid of it. This per gear suffers from it, but I'm mainly shooting at f1.2, so it doesn't really matter that much. I only just have one subject. Everything else is just blown into bokeh oblivion. So that's my whole thinking about that. But this lens surprised me. It actually is pretty straight. The whole focus area goes from the center to the sides. And I don't see any curvature as of yet. I don't know. We'll have to see as I keep shooting different subjects, different places. And as I use this lens more and more, I'll get to know more of it. But that's just something I wanted to throw in also. A really great pro that I enjoyed. Bokeh quality, creamy. I mean, what can you expect? Any f1.4 lens is gonna have creamy bokeh. This one is smooth. And all these modern manual lenses do a great job with bokeh. I'm really surprised. So kudos to you, TTArtisans. This has some great bokeh quality. Now, of course, things are gonna have like a little bit oval on the edges, around the sides. Well, basically all around the image, but at the center they're nice and round, and I don't see any onions or anything like that in the bokeh ball, so that shows great character. And I believe that is due to the 10 blade aperture blades that are here. It helps give us nice smooth bokeh. So handling, it was a treat. It was easy to focus. I know the focus throw could be longer, but I'm okay with it. I just take my time, and it's so smooth that you can even accurately get the pin focus you want to get to. So it wasn't a problem for me, but it's something that you might want to keep in mind, that it does have a very short focus throw. Clicky aperture, I don't care. During the video, I'm not going to be changing apertures on and off, up and down. So I don't care whether they're clicky or clickless. Whichever one is fine with me. But again, something for you to keep in mind. Maybe that's important for you. Okay, so being that it's a cheap lens, we know there's gonna be cons. And yeah, chromatic aberration is there. I knew it. I was expecting it coming in to this purchase, and yeah, I wasn't disappointed. It's all over the place. Shooting wide open at f1.4, you will have chromatic aberration. Surprisingly, on the aperture test shot, I didn't see it, but on other candid shots that I took around playing around with this lens, I did find it. So it's there, but then again, it could be we could just see it as a character of the lens. I don't know, it might be a little distracting for some, but for me, it's forgivable, because every lens suffers from some sort of chromatic aberration or fringing, especially if they're gonna cost less than $100. Now the other con is, like I mentioned, it does vignette wide open, but then again, characters. So it's not a big con for me. Another con, or something that you might want to keep in mind, is when you do zoom in and out, the lens does protrude a little bit. That means we will have some breathing issue when we're shooting video. But you know what? I haven't noticed it in my videos. I don't tend to focus in and out so much. But if you do, it is something to keep in mind. But personally, again, I don't see it as a con because I don't really care about it. But I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. And lastly, and probably one of the biggest pet peeve about this lens is actually the diameter, ring diameter on the front. Why is this such a funky diameter? 39 millimeters? 39? I mean, 37 is still pretty common, maybe 40 millimeters, but 39, I haven't seen anywhere in the camera shops that I've been to 39 millimeter diameters. So again, I had to go with Amazon, dig and find a step-up ring that goes from 39 to 52 or 55, something like that, so I could use some of my other step-up rings. But yeah, that's the biggest con I found with this lens is just the funky diameter. 39 millimeters. It's just so rare that is can't reuse the other step-up rings I have. I had to purchase one. So there you have it, guys. This has been a very quick preview, review, unboxing / review of the TTArtisan. So who is this lens for? I believe this lens is for those that are on a budget, but they really want to have some cinematic blur out effect in their videos, in their photos. Get a cheap TTArtisan. Per gear will do just fine. Other companies that have similar characteristics, and they're all pretty much the same, I believe. There's not a lot of difference between 7Artisans, TTArtisans, and Per gear. They all have the same, story going for them. They're cheap, they got good bokeh, and they suffer from fringing. So guys, if you find one used secondhand, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend this. This is just an awesome, awesome glass, and I'm glad I got it. The problem now is this thing is pushing me to get the 17mm one, because with a 17mm f1.4, I might even be able to use it for blogging with my Canon EOSM. So I might even be able to use it with my Canon EOSM, and it's just, man, tempting. But before we get to that, I gotta let you know, don't forget to subscribe if you want more images, more samples, videos with this lens. I'm gonna be posting a bunch of videos using this. Now that fall is here, get ready for some great momijis, or the red autumn leaves here, as they call it here in Japan. Also, I'm gonna have a comparison, more shootout with the Per gear 35mm f1.2 to this TTArtisan, and we'll see how similar really they are or how different they are. We'll find out. If you're curious to find out about that, don't forget to hit that little bell to let you know when a video does come out. Until then, thank you so much for watching. So stay safe, stay clean, and happy shootings.